another episode of the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast, where we bring you insightful conversations with industry leaders and experts. I'm your host, Maheen, and today we have a special guest who's no stranger to the world of technology and digital transformation. Our guest today is Gregg Ostrowski, the CTO Advisor at Cisco AppDynamics, with an impressive 25-year career in the tech industry, including roles at Research in Motion and Samsung. Gregg's expertise spans across various domains, from expertise services to developer relations, and he specializes in guiding companies through digital transformation, mobility apps, DevOps, analytics, and high ROI solutions. In this episode, we delve into the fascinating insights from the recent survey conducted by Cisco AppDynamics in Canada, shedding light on the evolving holiday shopping preferences and behaviors of Canadian consumers, especially in relation to the much-anticipated Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Hi, Gregg. On behalf of Canadian SME, I'd like to welcome you to our Small Business Podcast. How are you today?
I'm very good. How about yourself?
Very great, and very pleased to have you with us this afternoon. Now, Gregg, Cisco AppDynamics, they conducted a recent survey, and we would love to fill our audience and help them understand more about the upcoming holiday season as well. Can you tell us more about the recent survey conducted by Cisco AppDynamics in Canada, and what were the key findings regarding the Canadian consumers' holiday shopping preferences and behaviors, especially in relation to Black Friday and Cyber Monday?
Perfect. Yeah. So thanks again for having me on today. So Cisco AppDynamics, we conducted a comprehensive survey that spanned across 12 countries, including Canada. And it totaled roughly about 12,000 end users. And it was really meant out to understand what are their behaviors and preferences during the holiday shopping period. And we took a particular focus to Black Friday and Cyber Monday, the biggest shopping days of the year. So what we did is we noticed that there was a bit of a shift in consumer buying habits or shopping habits. So back to the report, 35% of the Canadian consumers indicated they plan to do more holiday shopping online this year than they had in previous years. So you kind of think about that. There's a big movement where you want to now have the usage of mobile applications and applications to go out and purchase your holiday shopping, right? So, going back to the report again, 61% expect a seamless shopping online experience. So when you think about that, they really want to have the ability to quickly go out and find products they want, purchase them, and have the confidence that they're going to be arriving at their doorstep before the holiday period. Mm-hmm. So, even if you kind of tie it to it, 72% of Canadian consumers emphasized no matter how attractive the deal is online, there's no excuse for poor online shopping experience. So you already see that there's like a little bit of angst from the consumer side that if the experience is not good, they're not going to be shopping there.
Right. And adding to that, I know we're talking about online shopping. Now, the survey also revealed that about 61% of Canadian consumers would feel anxious and angry if the applications or the digital services they use for the holiday shopping, if they fail to perform. Gregg, how do you think this heightened expectation for seamless digital experiences is affecting retailers and brands in Canada?
When it comes to online, it's probably one of the biggest impact, right? Poor experience creates anxiety, creates anger. It really pushes folks away. So that there's a heightened expectation that digital experiences must be seamless amongst the Canadian consumers. Really has a profound effect when you look at retailers and brands. So again, this kind of reflects that shift to that movement to a digital marketplace. So there's a big pressure for retailers that are providing online service to have that high quality, reliable digital experience for that, especially during that period of time of Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So when you think about that from that perspective, retailers and brands really need to prioritize their digital reliability so that they make it very proactive approach to making sure that they address these performance issues. Really, they want to find these before the consumer does. They want to be able to make sure that the experience is completely seamless. So when you kind of bring that into context, again, 61% of consumers from Canada, they feel that they would be anxious or angry if their online shopping experience didn't really give them the results that they were expecting. That any kind of failure or falter, they'll just abandon their shopping cart, walk away, and go to another location. That's really the crux of it, is they have options to move from one to the other.
Right. And one of the points, just reiterating, and it's also one of the insights from the survey that 35% of Canadian consumers plan to do more of their holiday shopping online this year compared to last year. Greg, what are the main drivers behind this increase, and how can online retailers leverage these motivations to attract and retain customers?
Sure. When you kind of think about it, you really have, when you pull your phone out of your pocket, you literally have every retailer in your pocket, right? So you have a big option of shopping around. So the perception is that by shopping online, they're going to be able to find the bigger deals on the internet, right? Because you're going to be able to compare, you're going to be able to look at different retailers that sell the same product, and you're going to be able to find the best deals that you can possibly find. So that way, when you have that mindset, you feel like you're going to be able to stretch your budget a little further upon the holiday season. The other part too is, again, when you kind of think about that mindset of having every retailer in your pocket, you then have a wider variety of products and choices that you can select from. So you can sit at the comfort of your own home, search around, find the different products that you may want to look, maybe even find something new that you wouldn't have typically considered.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, I remember when I was younger, when you go out for Black Friday shopping, it was literally like you're going to battle. So it's a challenge. So one of the key ways too is by shopping online, you avoid that stress. You avoid that last minute shopping and trying to find out what's going in the what's available in the store or what you can get that particular day.
Mm-hmm.
So given those motivations, when you look at the ability to get better deals, better variety of products that you can look for, and having that stress-free mindset, it really is the opportunity for the retailers to provide that better experience so that they can have, fast load times, very straightforward checkout process, be very responsive to what the customer is looking for from a support perspective. And that way, you have that confidence of being able to buy and have your products delivered on time when you're shopping online.
Right. What's interesting is that the data also shows that 71% of Canadian consumers would consider returning to shopping in physical stores if the digital services and applications they rely on have performance issues. Can you please elaborate on the implications of this for e-commerce businesses and the importance of ensuring digital reliability?
Yeah, this one is actually quite interesting. It seemed like a big shift to go online, and then the fact that folks are going to be willing to go back to your traditional retail brick and mortar in the event that the e-commerce services are not working. I mean, when you kind of think about it, despite the economic climate, online retail is continue to grow and have a steady expansion. So you're still seeing that growth there. But what that really means is that the retailers really need to constantly deliver exceptional experience when they're delivering services and selling product online.
Mm-hmm.
And really that's done by utilizing things like observability, making sure you can see and understand the user experience, but also having that business context so you can see what kind of revenue you have coming through, or maybe revenue at risk or abandoned shopping carts. So things along those lines. So when you kind of think about it from that perspective, if you're not getting it right online, you still have the risk of consumers going back to a traditional retail store to make their purchases. And 71% of the respondents that came in from Canada, that's a significant amount that would be willing to go back to retail stores. So, at the end of the day, you have a very big risk at the online retailers where they have a immediate implication of loss of revenue tied to their business. And realistically speaking, they have to provide that top performance or top experience and make people have confidence that when they're doing business with you, it's going to get them what they're expecting.
You're right. I mean, majority of the Canadian consumers believe that no matter how good the deals are, there is no excuse for poor online shopping experiences. Now, Greg, how can retailers balance offering attractive discounts with ensuring a seamless online shopping journey to meet these expectations?
Well, it's all going to start with, I think, based on what we've seen in the study, it's all going to start with the experience, right? So businesses really need to be investing in a robust, high reliable digital infrastructure that can deliver for their customers. Enabling things for proactive monitoring or observability so you can test these services to make sure that they're always running. So they always, think about it. Retailers should always be continuously assessing their environments for performance, issues, glitches, any kind of security vulnerabilities that might be resident within the application space. And that way you're addressing these concerns before the consumer has an issue. So when you look at it that way, it's really about making sure you have your best foot forward, and then you're being able to address things in a very proactive manner so that you're not impacting business and you're not impacting the experience that the consumers are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, when you look at it from a communication perspective, being transparent is critical here. You want to make sure you have very clear and concise consumer communications when you're starting to see that there's a bad experience. So this is a part that you want to always maintain communication back and forth with your customers, making sure that they have the right level of support, and this way the customer has that confidence in you to deliver for them. So communication is always very key. And lastly, retailers, it's not only the way that you can differentiate yourself through discounts, but also adding in value-added services such as like personalized items for the product, for product recommendations, return processes to make that very easy and easy process for a consumer to go through. And then again, just making sure they have the right level of support.
Right. Now, the step-by-step strategies that you laid across, Greg, I think it's also very important considering that according to the survey, the majority of the Canadian consumers also believe that retail brands have only one shot to impress them during the holiday season, and poor digital service or application performance could deter them from using a brand again. On a final note, and as we wrap up this conversation today, Greg, what strategies should brands adopt to make sure they capitalize on this critical opportunity and avoid losing potential long-term customers?
Yeah, this is the one item that I think every retailer needs to take away, is that they have one shot to impress a customer. In that event that they don't, they have options. They have the ability to quickly delete the application or move on to something else and go purchase their product somewhere else, and even go back to a retail store. So, by, providing deals is essential, but it's really important for online merchants to understand the climate that they're working in from an e-commerce perspective. They got to understand that creating digital experiences is crucial for customer retention and long-term success. You want them coming back, buying more from you in the future. So brands really need to invest on, getting reliable, scalable digital infrastructure, ensuring that their platforms can handle the increased seasonal traffic, right? So you usually see that big spike on Black Friday and a big spike on Cyber Monday. So you got to make sure that you can scale to handle that, but also make sure that you can prioritize your customer experience. Brands should focus on making their websites or their mobile applications to be very user-friendly, very intuitive. Make it so that you can quickly navigate to what you want to do, and then have a quick, seamless checkout process. And again, making sure that if the customer has a problem, making sure they have the easy way of getting access to support so you can quickly help them through their process.
Right.
Another part too is when we look at it from, we always see a lot of conversation around analytics and building out some ability to personalize. So build some analytics into your application so that when you can, that this way it helps you bring that personalization to the user experience.
Mm-hmm.
This way, when they're shopping for something, you can actually recommend different brands or different items, personalization that you can have. And what that does is really enhances the likelihood of someone to repeat business back with that retailer. And lastly, when I kind of bring it back together, it really makes the biggest difference when the retailer has that full level of unified visibility across their overall application suite. It could be, a hybrid cloud environment, some running on premise, some 100% cloud. It could be any different iteration, but the real key is that you got to have that level of observability of every step along the way, so that when there is a technical challenge, the end user's unaware of it, the consumer's unaware of it. And this way, it's the ability of, IT being able to monitor the health of the application, the health of the business as it's traversing through, the user experience, and at the end of the day, you have a happy customer.
Right. No, Greg, these survey findings or insights have really shed light on the evolving landscape of holiday shopping preferences and behaviors in Canada. And one key takeaway from our conversation today is that retailers and brands that prioritize digital reliability, user experience, and customer satisfaction are best positioned to succeed in this competitive market and creating lasting relationships with their customers. On behalf of the entire team of Canadian SME, I'd like to thank you once again for sharing these invaluable findings with us and with our audience. Thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. We hope you found our discussion with Gregg Ostrowski from Cisco AppDynamics enlightening and thought-provoking. Before we go, we'd like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our partners who make this podcast possible. A big thank you to our exclusive banking partner RBC for their continued support in bringing you these engaging conversations. We'd also like to thank our exclusive shipping partner UPS for ensuring that our episodes reach you seamlessly and on time. And last but not least, our exclusive accounting software partner Xero for their invaluable contributions to keeping our financials in check. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this episode with your network. Stay tuned for more exciting discussions on the latest tech trends, innovations, and industry insights right here on the Small Business Podcast. Until next time, I'm Maheen signing off.